Panama and Mexico. Mexico looking very strong in the tournament so far.
Well, Mexico, they come out with great talent. They have the point guard on Mr. Gutierrez. They got the down low presence on Mr. Añu, and they're feeding off their crowd. The house has been packed when Mexico is playing. They're playing with a lot of energy, controlling the glass, being aggressive, and so far, a great start for the home team.
Once again, welcome into the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City. Craig Fada, Victor Mansour bringing you the first two games of the afternoon. This one, Uruguay and the Dominican Republic. Uruguay coming in at 1-1, the Dominican Republic at 1-2. As we meet the full Dominican Republic roster, number 4, Edgar Sosa. Number 5, Victor Liz. Number 6, Rigoberto Mendoza. Number 7, Angel Suero. Number 8, Edward Santana. Number 9, Francisco Garcia. Number 10, James Feldine. Number 11, Eloy Vargas. Number 12, Orlando Sanchez. Number 13, Ulises Baez. And number 14, Luis Flores. And number 15, Juan Jose Garcia. Now let's meet Team Uruguay. Number 4, Santiago Vidal. Number 5, Bruno Fittipaldo. Number 6, Mauricio Aguiar. Number 7, Matthias Calfani. Number 10, Marcel Suberbil. Number 11, the captain, Martin Osemani. Number 13, Hernando Caceres. Number 14, Nicolas Borsellino. Number 21, Luciano Parodi. Number 22, Reke Newsom. Number 33, Kirill Waxman. And number 4, Demian Alvarez. Look up and down these rosters, Victor, and it seems like Uruguay might be just a little bit deeper on the bench.
And I agree with you. They seem like they have a couple more options. But the key for today's game will be controlling the pace. Uruguay brings a more of a half-court game, a more of a half-court style, while the Dominican Republic really on that three-point shooter, living in the perimeter. They were hot yesterday to begin the game, and then they cooled off a little bit and they had some problems.
Let's listen into the national anthems first for the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic designated the visiting team in this game, wearing their solid blue uniforms. Uruguay, the home team, in their whites. Let's listen to their national anthem. Welcome into the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City for the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament. Our first game of the fourth day of competition between Uruguay and the Dominican Republic. And you look at the standings table, and both of these teams have a good chance to advance to the second round of play. However, both of these teams with a chance actually to stay home if Panama can pull out a couple of wins. So this game is really critical for both of these teams.
You're absolutely right. Both these teams got to take this as there was the final for their first phase of the tournament. They want to qualify. They want to keep on trying to fight for that spot in the Rio Olympics, and this is a biggie.
There's a look at our officials for today's first game. Jorge Velasquez from Puerto Rico, Alejandro Chiti from Argentina, and Michael Weiland from Canada. Our FIBA commissioner for this game is Pedro Raga. Teams getting set for their final warm-ups and a couple of good games last night. Venezuela was able to pull away from Puerto Rico 74-63, and then Mexico, again, I don't know if you can call that an upset because Mexico's playing pretty strong. They defeated Brazil 65-58.
Well, you're absolutely right. Mexico at home is being a force right now. Mr. Gustavo Ayundelo, just too much to handle for the Brazil team yesterday. He was racking up the rebounds, getting the ball down low, getting fouled. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he finished with 27 yesterday. What a great play and what a great leader for this Mexican team.
There's a look at the full Dominican team roster. Their head coach, Kenny Atkinson from Spain. And as we bring up the starting five for the Dominican Republic, Edgar Sosa at point guard, James Feldine the other guard, Francisco Garcia and Ulises Baez the forwards, Eloy Vargas the center, Ulises Baez the team captain. And a look at Kenny Atkinson. He's got his game face on already.
Oh, and you like to see a coach with an approach like that. You like to see focus, locked in, because he's the main leader of the squad, and players are going to feed off of that.
Now let's have a look at the full lineup for Team Uruguay. And top to bottom, they go about 11 deep regularly, and they've got some guys in their 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th players off the bench who are very good and can give you very good minutes.
Well, we saw that yesterday, the Dominican Republic team, they kind of got a little bit tired in the second half. Shots weren't falling. They weren't getting to their spots. We're not able to get to the line too much, so fatigue and being able to have a deep roster with that rotation, you're absolutely right, Greg. It is a key factor in this game.
Newsom, Herodi, and Borsellino very strong off the bench. There's a look at the starting five for Uruguay. Bruno Fittipaldo, the point guard. Martin Osimani, the other guard. He's the team captain. Mauricio Aguiar and Matthias Calfani, the forwards, and the center, the veteran Kirill Voxman. Uruguay coached by Adrian Capelli. He's from Argentina. And we are moments away from tip-off. The fans, or rather the fans getting settled into their seats. The team's getting ready to come out onto the court, exchanging their final greetings and getting their final instructions. And we talked a little bit yesterday about the fatigue factor. We're day 4 into the tournament. There's one more day of play. Each team gets a day off during the first 5 days of competition, but you're playing 4 games in 5 days at altitude. And at this point, you have to wonder when it's really going to start hitting these teams. You saw some guys yesterday bent over, hands on their knees, when there wasn't any action. And we're talking more than half the players on the court. Regardless of what team or what game it was, the altitude, the fatigue is starting to get to them. Fortunately, we haven't seen any major injuries so far.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Greg. And as a matter of fact, very unusual. We had about 8 guys at one possession holding their knees, taking deep breaths. And just walking down to the arena today, I had a chance to speak with one of the referees, and he told me he was having a little bit of headaches. He was having some problems, so you can imagine the players.
Fittipaldo launches a 3 to get the game started. It misses.
Fittipaldo's been having a great tournament, able to get his teammates involved, able to get some points himself. Let's look to see what he brings today.
Fittipaldo averaging 15 points per game in this tournament. Now the first foul called.
But just the ability to handle the ball, to get to the key, open up for his teammates. Fittipaldo, the Dominican Republic, got to contain him.
That foul was on Mauricio Aguiar, his first. Feldin gets it in. Now a 3 on the way from Garcia. That's short. And we talk about fatigue. You remember we saw it a lot during the women's tournament, and they weren't playing at altitude up in Edmonton. We started to see toward the end of the preliminary round, jump shots starting to be a little short, a lot of front iron, a lot of free throws catching front iron. Now a 3 on the way from the corner by Feldin is no good, rebounded by Waxman.
Especially because these guys are playing so hard at such a high intensity. You've got to wonder if that altitude is really going to be a factor.
And perhaps maybe that's why Mexico is looking so strong. They're used to it.
Yep. Some teams decide to come real early. Some teams decide to come right at the when the tournament's about to start to try to adapt to that condition.
Calfani with the pretty spin move, high off the glass with the right hand and in. He's got the first points of the game. Now a 3 on the outside. That's good. Edgar Sosa puts the Dominican Republic on the board.
Once again, they already got three-point shots in less than a minute and a half. That's their style. That's their philosophy. They're going to live and die by it.
And now an offensive foul.
Ball never came in place.
Yeah. The foul was against,
as you see right
Fittipaldo.
There.
Yeah, he just puts both forearms into the back of Ulis Baez and pushes him over.
And that sometimes really frustrates the little guys because they get banged down around a little bit. And once they hit somebody, they get called for it.
Bounce pass into the corner now along the baseline. 3 on the way from Garcia. That's good. Francisco Garcia hits the 3 ball, and the Dominican up 6-2 on a pair of 3-pointers already.
You would wonder if Uruguay would, at some point in this game, play the zone like Panama did yesterday, confusing the Dominican Republic team with their perimeter shooting.
Now Garcia called for the foul as he swats at Aguiar, handling the ball, and that's the first foul on Garcia. Waxman to inbound, finds Osimani. Now 3 on the way from Fittipaldo, that's short. Rebounded by Feldin. Sosa. Nice work on the fake screen roll. The screen never came, he rolled instead. An easy bucket for Vargas.
Nice dump pass with the one hand. Nice catch, and the finish. Got to make the right reads, and that's what they did, shooting the gaps, able to get their spots.
3 on the way by Aguiar, no good, but the rebound tracked down by Osimani. Osimani pops, no, he doesn't. He shoots it underneath. He was trying to zip the pass inside to Calfani, but it got intercepted. Here comes the Dominican back the other way.
See if they go to the same play here, high pick and roll.
Now the outside shot rattles out by Sosa. Waxman the rebound.
I'll tell you what, they're not shy at all to shoot that 3-pointer.
They've already taken 5 of them. Now the bounce pass inside from Osimani is intercepted, and here comes the Dominican Republic back the other way. Sosa on the attack. Shoots it high up over Waxman. Shot won't go. Waxman the rebound.
Stopped on the dime. Very hard to do. You come at full speed. You have to stop, go up vertically, but didn't get the drop.
Aguiar to Osimani. Now here comes the screen by Waxman. Up top to Aguiar, long 3, misses that one badly. Now the first round of substitutions as Edward Santana comes on for the Dominican Republic. Baez to Santana on the left wing, handing it to Feldin on the screen. Now Sosa into the corner, back to Baez. Baez driving on Calfani, gets Calfani in the air, goes to the glass and lays it in. Nice move by Baez, and he'll go to the free throw line to try to complete the three-point play.
And when you say hand it off, it's really important to point out, it's been a tendency nowadays, what we call the dribble handoff. The big man gets the ball on the perimeter. They see the guards coming. They will kind of like deliver with the one hand or with the two hands. Sometimes we call that DHO, dribble handoff. It is a pass that's been used a lot. So for the perimeter player, they get it on the curl and able to turn the corner.
Baez completes the three-point play, and it's 11-2 in favor of the Dominican Republic. Calfani with the only bucket so far for Uruguay. Now a three on the way. That's no good. Baez had it, and then craftily throws it off of the leg of Kirill Waxman and retains possession for the Dominicans.
Smart move, long rebound here, able to grab possession, had 1 feet about to go. He saw that Uruguay player was out of bounds, and he just threw it off his legs.
Hand-eye coordination when players do that is amazing, especially when they leap in the air and do it.
And good court awareness too, knowing that he could take
Baez, a nice
advantage.
bounce pass in close to Santana. He lays it in, and the Dominican Republic rolling early, a 13-2 lead, and Team Uruguay wants timeout.
We've been expecting this for the Dominican Republic team. They were pointed out as one of the favorites in the tournament, and they're playing like so right now.
Let's listen in to head coach Adrian Capelli for the Uruguayan huddle.
La única diferencia que hay, esta situación no nos puede pasar. Entonces, no nos volvamos locos, recién empieza. Vamos a empezar de nuevo, tranquilo. Paciencia, tiren con confianza, ya va a entrar la pelota. Sigamos poniendo las cortinas y todo, tengamos paciencia y orden. Está paciencia y orden. Hey, que no metan 10 puntos en este cuarto.
Hey, listen, this is what we
Que
do.
no metan 10 puntos en este
Hey,
cuarto.
we get up double figures and we let up. Keep playing defense. Let's go up 20. Keep
Hey,
playing defense.
rebounding's great. Great pressure on the passer. That's great. You guys are playing with the pass. Same thing.
Here we go. Let me go now.
You heard the Dominican huddle. We get up and then we let up. We have to keep up the pressure.
Yep, and that's what Coach said. Let's make sure we keep rebounding so we can have more possessions. In Uruguay, though, Coach tried to give them some confidence. He says the difference of the game so far is that they've taken shots, they've made it. We have not. Let's not go crazy. Let's restart. Let's be patient and confident.
The Dominicans lighting it up from the floor. 75% on two-point shots, 40% on three-point shots.
And we saw this Uruguayan team play a beautiful defensive game against Brazil in their first game. So you know what they're capable of doing. Let's see if they can make some adjustment and really pick it up.
Well, Brazil doesn't quite have the outside shooters that the Dominican has, and so that may be thwarting their defensive game plan a little bit. Now the high floater catches the front iron, and here comes Edgar Sosa. Sosa, deep baseline shot, that's good. 15-2 now in favor of the Dominican Republic. Uruguay has not scored since the 8:48 mark of this quarter. They've taken only, they've only taken two-point shots and are 0 of 5 from three-point range. There is Mauricio Aguiar with a good close-in look, and he breaks that streak. Baez on the right wing to Garcia, now to Feldine. Around the screen by Santana, and Santana moved on that screen, so he gets called for the offensive foul. Wasn't anything too dramatic, but he never really got set.
But you can see right there, Santana actually setting the screen to where he wanted the offensive player to go.
There you saw on the replay, he actually put his arms into the back of the defender and extended.
A couple of years ago, you'd have the player that's setting the screen be set in one spot. Nowadays, you see that the screener is going to adjust to where the defense is giving their gaps so the offensive player can have more advantage.
You're still a young guy, but you can tell you've been playing the game a long time when you start to say nowadays.
Well, everything is always evolving. The game's not any different, and you can see new tendencies, especially with the dribble handoffs, the curls, the transition offense. The game is played very physical, but the pick and roll, players are, the big men are able to get some reads to try to give their guards a clean look.
Now a stoppage before the ball was inbounded. Not sure what the reset was for.
Sometimes when the basket scored, the net gets caught in the rim. The referee just want to make sure that it was put back in place.
Now a foul on Fittipaldo. That's going to be his second.
Good call by Michael, the referee from Canada right here. You saw that Fittipaldo kind of hold the hip on the roller. You can do that in practice, but not in the games.
So Aguiar back on to replace Fittipaldo.
And that's a big 2 fouls early on for Fittipaldo and the Uruguayan team.
We've not seen Uruguay go very deep on its bench so far. We've only seen Ricky Newsom come on. Francisco Garcia's three-pointer missed. Now Luciano Perotti on as well. So now they're starting to get into their bench. Perotti, one of those spark plug type players that you love to have coming off the bench. Aguiar to Perotti. No look pass. Now inside to Newsom. Great ball movement by Uruguay. Results in the easy look by Ricky Newsom, and it's 15-6.
Great ball movement is right. They were unselfish, able to find the extra pass for the wide open layup.
Baez for three. Bang! Dominicans hit again, and it's 18-6.
But if you're Uruguay, that's just way too easy. Early on in their offense, the Dominican Republic got a wide open shot.
Osimani. Here comes the screen from Calfani. Drop pass to Osimani. He goes strong off the glass. That won't go. Good defense there by Baez. Now Feldin bounce pass into the corner. Sosa brings it back out. Gets the offense reset near midcourt. Plenty of time. Here comes the screen by Santana. Gets it over left side. Now into the corner to Feldin. Pass a little too strong. Zips through his hands. And you see Feldin shaking that right hand, saying a little less mustard on that one, partner.
There's that ball movement. Unselfish play. Found the big fella down low. Nice bounce pass. And the finish.
There's the three by Baez. These Dominicans have no conscience when it comes to shooting from outside.
And if they're making, that rim just gets bigger and bigger.
Perotti, guarded by Mendoza. Now the pass into the corner to Borsellino. The foul called on the pass. That's going to be on Vargas, his first. Yeah, there you see Borsellino and Vargas fighting for position. Perotti to inbound, gets it outside to Aguiar. Three on the way. That misses. Ricky Newsom had it for a moment. Now the pass ahead to Francisco Vargas. He loses it. Nice hustle by Osimani to get back and force the turnover. Now the pass ahead inside to Newsom. He's got to fight through two players. Gets poked away from behind by Sosa. Nice defensive play there by the point guard for the Dominican Republic.
So both big men right here having a little bit of problem fumbling the ball. Got to take care of it.
Now Sosa was trying to kick it out to Mendoza, and Mendoza was not there.
2 consecutive possessions for both teams with 2 turnovers. When that starts to happen, you want to get to your half-court set. You want to slow things down so you're able to get good shot, but don't turn it over.
Up until that point, teams really have been taking good care of the ball. Now the close-in one-hander by Aguiar won't go. The putback by Borsellino, and he's pumped up.
And you love the passion, you love the heart. Got the bucket, made sure his team knows, let's get back in this game.
Lead down to 10 now, 18-8. The floater by Liz gets blocked, and then the putback pops out, and then a foul called. I believe that's going to be on Borsellino. It is, and for Borsellino, that is foul number 1.
But sending a message to his team. Let's keep on playing, let's not back down, let's play hard on both ends.
Osimani sits down, and Santiago Vidal comes on for Team Uruguay. And at the free throw line is Eloy Vargas. Vargas on the tournament, a 50% free throw shooter. First free throw is short. Minute 25 to play first quarter. It's been an entertaining first quarter despite the fact that the Dominican Republic has jumped out to such a big lead. It's not that, in my opinion, it's not that Uruguay has been playing particularly poorly, just that, again, the Dominicans come out shooting red hot. Second free throw by Vargas is good. Pass just about stolen by Sosa. Parodi. He pops from outside. No, he gives it up inside to Borsellino. High off the glass with the left hand and in. Tough shot by Borsellino.
Again,
He gets Uruguay back to within 9.
the ability to finish with both hands, the right and the left. If you're a young one out there, practice both of them. So the more tools you have, the better the finish.
Oh, Vargas was going to go up and jam that home, but he lost it on the way up as he bowled over Ricky Newsom. Now at the other end, Vidal. He goes strong with the left hand, a little too strong, hits the side of the backboard. And it's Dominican ball with 33 seconds to play in the quarter. Sosa up near half court. Here comes the screen.
Good help side by Uruguay. There you go, see it
Now the
again.
steal, Parodi, it's a 3-on-1 break. Up ahead to Aguiar. Aguiar can't get the shot to go as he got Vargas in the air, but he does draw the foul, so he'll go to the free throw line for a pair.
Good defensive stance that time by Uruguay. They got to their middle rotation. They got to that middle lane. Were able to come up with the steal and go in transition. The easiest ways to score in this game is either with the offensive transition, a fast break, or an offensive rebound.
First foul on Vargas. He sits down. Baez comes back on. Francisco Garcia replaces Victor Liz. So it's Sosa, Mendoza, Santana, Baez, and Vargas for the Dominican Republic for the final 15 seconds of this quarter. Aguiar misses the first free throw. Aguiar, a 67% free throw shooter on the tournament so far. For Uruguay, it's Vidal, Parodi, Aguiar, Borsellino, and Newsom. And now Suberbil comes on for Aguiar.
As you see, both teams here, Dominican Republic going with the offensive substitution, and the Uruguayan team try to bring in some defensive players.
Sosa bringing it up across the half-court stripe. Parodi staying with him. 5 now on the clock. Santana on the drive with 2 to shoot. Got it! Edward Santana, as the clock was winding down, shoots with 2 seconds left. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Santana, and the Dominican Republic takes a 21-11 lead at the end of one quarter. This is the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament at the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City. There you see the Dominicans shooting red hot, 62% from two-point range, 42% from three-point range. Uruguay 5 of 10, that's not too bad, but they haven't made a three-point shot yet. Rebounds in favor of the Dominican Republic. Baez leading all scorers with 6 points. Borsellino leading Uruguay with 4. 10-point lead for the Dominican Republic. We're back in a moment from Mexico City. Welcome back to Mexico City at the Palacio de los Deportes. Very unique building, built for the 1968 Mexico City Olympics. If you haven't seen it, look it up online. It's got a bronze domed roof that kind of has, I don't know, you call them spikes. I don't know if you've heard some people refer to it as the armadillo. Kind of looks almost like a hedgehog or a turtle or something like that, but
yeah,
really neat looking building.
And yesterday night, Mexico versus Brazil, just a packed house, full house.
Yeah.
A lot of energy in this building. The Mexico team is playing off of that. The fans, they shout and they scream and they have chants throughout the whole game. Just a beautiful basketball environment.
It's like watching a soccer game. Now on the outside, that's Feldine hitting for his first 2 points of the game, and it's 23-11.
Uruguay kind of struggling right here with their offense.
Get it inside to Aguiar. Aguiar working on Feldine. Whips the pass outside. 3 on the way. That's short.
Beautiful pass by Aguiar with the side of his body. Outside pass.
Feldine between the rings. Now onto the wing. Mendoza for Santana. And a foul called against Ricky Newsom. Newsom's claiming that Santana was holding him. Newsom was trying to get to front the offensive player.
Couldn't get a great look from that angle, but I kind of agree with Newsom.
Now Newsom gets bowled over, and now a foul called on the shot. That's going to be against Aguiar. To draw a foul here.
So big pieces for Uruguay. He got there too late. Aguiar, that's a clean, easy call for the ref. But Aguiar with the 2 fouls, Filipalo with the 2 fouls. Critical time in the game for Uruguay.
So Santana to the free throw line. He has not missed a free throw in the tournament so far.
Santana just a solid piece coming off the bench for the Dominican Republic. Knows his roles, plays defense according to the man. And on the offensive side, just a reliable player that's able to score.
Well, I did it again. Mentioned that a player rattles out, so I apologize to Mr. Santana. Biggest lead of the game for the Dominican Republic, 13.
We wonder if you got more cards on your repertoire.
I guess. Now Aguiar the strong take. That rattles off the right side, and here comes Feldine. Bounce pass ahead to Mendoza, but he could not handle it. And that's a turnover for the Dominican Republic.
3-on-2 fast break. Coach's nightmare. You have the advantage, but you turn it over.
That's one of those when you're the players on the floor, you don't want to look back at the coach because you know you're going to get the glare.
So many times in practice, you practice those situations. You go 3-on-2, 4-on-3, 2-on-1. At that time, had the right idea with the bounce pass, which is a little bit too much power.
Simoni's 3 is short. Feldine whips the pass inside. Now Mendoza for 3. No. Newsom the rebound. Vidal to Newsom. Now to Fittipaldo back in the game. Over to Borsellino. In close. Reverse layup. Good with the left hand. Nice move by Borsellino. He's got 6 points.
Very comfortable with his left hand. Protected. Use the rim as protection and finish with the reverse.
Feldine out to Baez for 3. Bang! Ulis Baez hits from long range. He's got 9 now to lead all scorers.
Very clear right there. There was a baseline penetration. Baez didn't dive to try to get the layup. He actually stayed out for the 3-point line to take that 3.
Effortless stroke by Baez, too. Now the behind-the-back pass. Borsellino's got to track that down. 6 to shoot. Borsellino from in close with the left hand again. Borsellino's got 10.
If you're Dominican Republic, you have to adjust to that left-handed play of Mr. Borsellino.
Beg your pardon, Borsellino now with 8. Now the pretty drive at the other end by Victor Liz. 29-15, coming up on 7 minutes to play, second quarter. Vidal swings it out left side. Fittipaldo loses it. And the beautiful drive by Rigoberto Mendoza goes to the glass with the right hand and lays it in on the transition bucket. And the Dominican Republic now with a 16-point lead, 31-15 with 6:52 to play. Here's a look first at the reverse by Borsellino. Spin move and splitting the defenders.
All kinds of tools with that left hand. Right here you see just a nice backdoor, beautiful recognition. Give it back to him on the bounce pass. And here with the little ball fake, offhand to the finish. That's how you finish in transition.
Timeout Uruguay. They've used both of their timeouts in this first half. Let's listen into the Uruguayan huddle.
Martín, Mauricio, Iril y Nico. Escuche. Si hay gol, Santiago. Sí, escucha. Cuadrado. Si hay gol, el cuadrado acá es cambio y para acá es fondo, Nico. Si no tenemos cuadrado, balance, no nos corran, el balance, escuchen. No hay más step. Hay todo espacio y vamos por arriba. Todo espacio por arriba, comprimimos. ¿Sí? Todo espacio, pará. El ataque, uno abajo.
Back at the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City, this is the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament. Craig Fada, Victor Mansur on the call. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from, around the Americas or around the world. You can also follow us online at the official tournament website, americas2015.com. Persistent effort there by Kirill Waxman, and he'll go to the free throw line. You can also join us on social media as the foul gets called on Francisco Garcia. Social media, you can look us up on Twitter and Instagram at FIBA. Also on Facebook, you can follow the tournament games on FIBALivestats.com.
For those with a smartphone, you can also download the FIBA Americas app, available for Android and for iOS.
Waxman short on the first free throw.
It's been coming in handy for us, right, partner?
It sure has.
Coach Adrian Capelli in that last timeout told his players, let's go over the screens. He's going to try to close out the perimeter to try to give the Dominican Republic no room on that three-point shooting.
Waxman hits on the second free throw.
As you see right there what Simoni does, it goes over the screen. Good job by the veteran playing, and they drop back to a 3-2 zone.
Garcia out to Feldine, 7 to shoot. Feldine with the long three-pointer splash. James Feldine from way downtown.
Good defense, but just better offense. Beautiful step back. A lot of strength on those legs to get that shot off.
Now Waxman high off the glass, no, but a foul called. Foul is called on Eloy Vargas, and for Vargas, that is foul number 3. So Vargas will have a seat. He's replaced by Edward Santana. Two team fouls on both teams in this second quarter. Osimani. Now Borsellino into the lane. Left-hand hook missed badly. Sosa the rebound. Garcia.
Transition 3. No hesitation whatsoever.
Vidal around the screen by Waxman. Has to pull up. Back out to Osimani. Still plenty of time. Just now getting to 10 on the shot clock. Beautiful move by Waxman. Can't get it to go. He missed with the left hand.
But Santana played him smart too. He kind of got out the way.
Another three by the Dominican Republic. No good that time for Victor Liz. Now Osimani over to Vidal. That misses. Watchman the rebound. Pass outside to Aguiar. That's no good. Rebounded by Vidal. Now another three by Osimani. That misses. Rebound Borsellino. Maybe they'll get Borsellino for going over the back. Uruguay 0 for 11 from three-point range.
And on that last possession, they got wide open looks. You really need those if you're Uruguay. So you were able to get the offensive set. You see right there, Aguiar couldn't get it to go. They got the rebound, kicked it back out. Osimani had a wide open look. In practice, he's going to make 8 or 9 or even 10 out of 10.
Timeout on the floor to the Dominican Republic. This is the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament live from Mexico City.
Yeah, Edwards in. No, we changed it. Hey, watch what we do. Who's our fifth guy here? Edward. Mike, just run whatever. We'll do it. Let's run 35. You got it?
Look, this is going to be on my right side. Santana.
This goes into three.
One, two, three.
34-16 in favor of the Dominican Republic with 4:53 to play in the second quarter. And Uruguay, they had been shooting a pretty decent percentage from two-point range, but now they're 7 of 17 for 41%. An abysmal 0 for 11 from beyond the arc. Dominican, meanwhile, 8 of 11 from two-point range, 5 of 12 from three-point range. Garcia for three. That's no good, but the rebound inside by Baez and a foul called. That's going to be on Hernando Caceres.
Coach Atkinson made sure he called a timeout to address the zone attack, but Uruguay is smart enough. They switch it up and they go back to man-to-man defense.
Three on the way by Sosa, no good. Uruguay has numbers. Fittipaldo gets it out to Aguiar. Now Aguiar on the attack with the right hand. That pops out. Boxman, the rebound off the glass, no, but he'll go to the free throw line. I think they're going to get Baez on the foul.
Washman just a beast down low with his 7th rebound, making sure his team gets second opportunities, trying to keep the Uruguayan in this game.
The foul was on James Feldine, not Baez, but Waxman will go to the free throw line. And on the tournament, well, I'm not going to say it. Didn't have to, did I? To that point, Waxman had not missed a free throw.
Oh, my friend, if these guys know it's coming from you.
I'll have to run in 2 languages. 3 if Brazil is playing. Waxman misses them both.
So you're definitely using your magic more and more.
I don't know if magic's quite the right word. Sosa gets it out to Santana. His jumper rolls off. Rebounded by Caceres. Now here comes Osimani. Gets his way into the lane, gives it up to Aguiar. The bank shot won't go. Wow, what a rebound, and behind the back pass by Osimani. And Aguiar lays it in.
Give Mr. Washman credit again. He fighting for that rebound, gave his team the opportunity to get a bucket.
Saw some of the staff from Argentina watching this game.
And that last possession right there, you really see how much a three-point shooting hurts you. They've been hitting the three, so Uruguay has to close out. Baez that time with just a quick pump fake, able to get down the lane, and then got caught for the hand check.
The foul on Caceres, his second. Free throw is good by Baez. Baez now with 10 points.
Baez just a critical position, plays that 4 spot, able to stretch the court. Such a key component of an offensive team.
Second free throw circles out, so it's 35-18 Dominican Republic. 3 from the corner short. And at some point, even if the looks are open, Uruguay is going to have to start passing up on those 3-pointers.
You're absolutely right.
They're just not making them.
Make the reads and adjust.
Sosa now for 3, no. Osimani, the hesitation move, kicks it out, stolen by Sosa. Sosa's got to beat Fittipaldo and does, lays it in with the right hand. And Sosa staring down somebody. Not sure if it was somebody on the Uruguayan bench or the coach.
Nothing wrong with the little trash talk.
Caceres hands to Osimani. Lob pass inside, gets batted out of there, and the Dominicans running again. Feldine into the corner, has to track it down. Now the pass inside to Santana, working on Waxman, and he traveled. He gets the ball in good position, but great defense by Waxman. Here's a look at the layup by Sosa, and immediately you can see Sosa. He's staring at somebody over in the corner. I don't know who that was. Good look at Victor Liz. Waxman out to Caceres. Osimani trying to feed Waxman down low. Gets it poked from behind by Santana, but Santana gets called for the foul. That's going to be the second on Santana.
Just way too deep. Good position by Mr. Washman. Drew the foul. And that's what you need for Uruguay. The 3-point shooter's not working. Let's make sure we go really close, really near to get some easy deuce.
So 14 fouls now against the Dominican Republic. Uruguay will be shooting on the next. Already 5 for Uruguay.
There's a kick violation there. There was 12 seconds on the shot clock. Now the clock gets recessed to 14. It's not 24 anymore.
Lob outside. Ceres down to Fittipaldo. 10 to shoot. Here comes the screen by Waxman. Fittipaldo drops it to Waxman. Now back outside to Aguiar. Aguiar kicks it into the corner. Now Osimani for 3. That's no good.
But just a beautiful offensive possession for Uruguay. They ran exactly what they wanted. We were able to get a high pick and roll, a corner pass, an extra pass. Mr. Osimani just a bit short. And Uruguay still struggles with the 0 for 13 on a 3-point line.
Now Aguiar picks up his 3rd foul for Uruguay, and Santana will go to the free throw line.
And that's what you don't want. You don't hit the 3, and you get called for the foul on the offensive rebound, giving the Dominican Republic an opportunity to score.
Santana misses the first free throw. Books the second, and it's a 20-point lead, 38-18, a minute 55 to play, second quarter. Uruguay really stalling here in this second quarter. 3 on the way from Caceres, no. Baez to Liz. Started by Osimani. Now Liz backs it out. Gets it reset. Oh, beautiful pick and roll. Nice feed underneath to Santana. He goes up for the easy deuce. Santana now with 8 points. And Fittipaldo hits the jumper and draws the foul. That foul is going to be on Victor Liz, his first.
Nice ball control. Got to the spot. Went up control, went up balance. Mr. Liz just undercut him a little bit. Just touch him enough. And Fittipaldo with his first bucket.
completes the three-point play, and look what happens when you shoot from inside the three-point arc. That mid-range jumper, kind of a lost art in international basketball. Guys who can do it will score points in bunches.
I think art is the right word. Such a tough shot to get there to that perimeter two.
Santana from outside, a long two-point attempt, but he's fouled. That foul is going to be on Hernando Caceres, and that's his third. So Aguiar and Caceres with 3 fouls for Uruguay. Vargas 3 fouls for the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic had a lot of problems yesterday playing against the zone. However, Uruguay has shown zone a few times today, but it has not been as effective.
Santana can make it double figures, and does. He's got 10, and a 21-point lead for Dominican Republic. They have doubled up Uruguay, 42-21. 45 seconds to play in the quarter. Osimani, kind of a crafty little move to the bucket there, just kind of got there. And
beautiful move, attack the middle of the defense so he can go left or right, able to create a sidestep for the layup.
And he kind of nonchalantly just put it up there, like, nobody's going to see this. Now Sosa on the drive, kicks it out. Mendoza for 3, short, Waxman the rebound. 9th rebound for Kirill Waxman. 10 seconds left in the half. Fittipaldo near center court. Here comes the screen by Waxman. Fittipaldo cut off, 3 to shoot. Now a 3 from outside. Osimani, no. And Uruguay is going to finish the half 0 for 15 from three-point range. The Dominican Republic, a 42-23 lead at halftime. This is the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament, live from the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City. Let's take a look at some of the halftime statistics. We brought up the cold shooting for Uruguay. 10 of 37 overall for 27%. They are 0 for 15 from beyond the arc. So really they're not shooting too bad. 10 of 22 from inside three-point range for 45%, but the Dominican Republic, they're shooting lights out. 10 of 15 from two-point range. They've cooled off a little bit from beyond the arc. 5 of 16 for 31%. Neither team really lighting it up from the free throw line. Uruguay 43%, Dominican 64%. Rebounds in favor of Uruguay, 21-20 on the efforts of Kirill Waxman. He's got 9 rebounds so far. Turnovers even at 7 apiece. Taking a look at the top individual scorers for both teams. Borsalino with 8 for Uruguay. Baez and Santana each in double figures for the Dominican Republic. Sosa with 7, Aguiar with 5, Fittipaldo with 3. There you see the rebounding leaders. Waxman having a monster game on the board so far, 9 rebounds. And a look at some of the foul trouble, as we mentioned, Caceres and Aguiar each with 3 fouls. Vargas with 3 for the Dominican Republic. A big lead at halftime for the Dominican Republic, 42-23. This is the FIBA Americas Championship.
change. Moves down, down, do your dance, do your We got a brand new dance. Down, do your dance, do your dance. Kick a swing on, baby. Do your dance, down, down, do your dance, do your dance. They say I'm a rapper, and I say no. They say what you doing, trying to do somebody go. I just let the music come from my soul, so all of my people can stay on the floor. They got a brand new dance. You gotta move your muscle. Brand new dance. It's called a Cupid shuffle. It don't matter if you're young or you're old. Here we go. We gon' show you how it goes. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Now kick, now kick, now kick, now kick. Now walk it by yourself. Now walk it by yourself. Now walk it by yourself. Now you see what I'm talking about. I represent for the dirty South, where we're known for swinging now. King of swing out, baby. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Down, down, do your dance. Down, down, do your dance. Let me see you do the Cupid shuffle, the Cupid shuffle, the Cupid shuffle, the Cupid shuffle. Now come on, baby, kick. Now walk it by yourself. Walk it by yourself. To the right, to the right, to the right, the right, the right. To the left, to the left, to the left, the left, the left. Now kick, now kick, now kick, now kick. Now walk it by yourself. Walk it by yourself and do the Cupid shuffle. Now let me see you do the Cupid shuffle. Now let me see you do the. It's your boy Cupid, C-U-P-D-I-D. Mr. Fat on the track, got another hit indeed. Hey. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. Come on, come on. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. Let me see you. Do your dance, do your dance. Do your dance. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. We got a brand new dance. We got a brand new sound. We got a brand new feel. We got a brand new New Cupid, new Cupid. Time for a change. Moves down, down, do your dance, do your We got a brand new dance. Down, do your dance, do your dance. Kick a swing on, baby. Do your dance, down, down, do your dance, do your dance. They say I'm a rapper, and I say no. They say what you doing, trying to do somebody go. I just let the music come from my soul, so all of my people can stay on the floor. They got a brand new dance. You gotta move your muscle. Brand new dance. It's called a Cupid shuffle. It don't matter if you're young or you're old. Here we go. We gon' show you how it goes. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Now kick, now kick, now kick, now kick. Now walk it by yourself. Now walk it by yourself. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. Let me see you do the Cupid. Down, do your dance, do your dance. Down, down, do your dance, do your dance. come on, baby, kick. Now walk it by yourself. Walk it by yourself. To the right, to the right, to the right, the right, the right. The left, to the left, to the left, the left, the left. Now kick, now kick, now kick, now kick. Now walk it by yourself. Walk it by yourself and do the Cupid shuffle. Now let me see you do the Cupid shuffle. Now let me see you do the. It's your boy Cupid, see you feet are out of D. Mr. Fat on the track, got another getting D. Do your dance, do your dance, come on, down, do your dance, do your dance. Let me see you do your dance, do your dance, do your dance, do your dance, do your dance. Down, down, do your dance. We got a brand new dance. We got a brand new sound. We got a brand new feel. We got a brand new style, y'all.
Welcome back to the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City for the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament. First game of the day between Uruguay and the Dominican Republic, and the Dominican Republic with a big 42-23 lead coming out of the locker room at halftime. And if you are Adrian Capelli, the head coach for Team Uruguay, what do you tell your team in the locker room, Victor, besides stop shooting the three-pointer?
Well, Uruguay, they got to do on the defensive side of the floor, they got to do a better job contesting the perimeter game of the Dominican Republic. Also, they got to get to their rotation. They're a little bit late on their step. On the offensive end, you're happy with the offensive rebounding. They have 9 offensive rebounds so far, but the three-point shooting, they got to do a better job.
Well, Fittipaldo missed the first three-point attempt, but Uruguay stays persistent on the offensive glass. They go up, get the shot and the foul. Nice job by Nicolas Borsellino starting the second half.
And if you're the Dominican Republic, you want to keep playing your style. If that's the way you play, you run and gun sometimes. That's what you got you this lead. You want to keep with your style. It is a critical game. However, they've got to be able to rotate, go down the bench because it is a long tournament. And you're happy on the defensive side that you only gave up 23 points in the first half.
Borsellino completes the three-point play. It's 42-26. The foul was on Baez, his second. Now some pressure by Uruguay. Baez draws the reach-in foul on Matthias Calfani. That's his second. Sosa. Fittipaldo guarding him. Now Garcia picked up by Aguiar. Now Calfani, they get it inside. Back out to Garcia. Three on the way. No. Rebounded by Aguiar. Osimani. Another three. Another miss. 0 for 17 now for Uruguay from beyond the arc. Sosa for three. Bang. 45-26 now in favor of the Dominican Republic. And if I'm Adrian Capelli, I call timeout and I say the next guy that shoots a three isn't going to play the rest of the game. Offensive foul called, that time against Fittipaldo.
And you're right.
The three by Sosa.
Because sometimes you're open and you know you can make that shot. But you have to know that this game, things are not going well for you. So you got to be able to mix it up.
There you saw the foul on Fittipaldo. Tried to hit Baez underneath. That goes out of bounds. It'll be Uruguay ball.
You gotta measure the pass right. Sometimes the big fella, they can't get down low to get that pass. You gotta put a little bit more of a bounce to it so it can get right on the chest of the big man.
Calfani. Now Osimani. Borsellino out to Aguiar. Thought about the three. Drives in and lays it in with the right hand.
And then you saw right there, just under control. Sometimes you don't have to go so fast. You go under control with some strong steps, go down the lane smoothly to lay it in.
Now inside, nicely done. Baez. Aguiar back the other way. Up top to Osimani, now Fittipaldo. Inside to Borsellino, he kicked it out. Aguiar on the drive and an offensive foul. Borsellino had it in close. Looked like he could have taken the shot. He had a little bit of a mismatch, could have gone up and laid it in. Instead, he kicked it out.
And there you see some good sportsmanship. There's a collision. Even though Aguiar extended his hand, Mr. Francisco Garcia said, man, it's part of the game. I apologize. Let's keep on going.
We've seen a lot of that in this tournament, a lot of good sportsmanship. We've seen some hard fouls, and then following the foul, the guy will help him up. Hey, it's just part of the game.
A lot of it because a lot of these guys have played against each other in other international tournaments. They play sometimes in the same leagues or even in the same teams. So even though they go at it during the game, there's a lot of respect for each other.
And a pretty reverse layup by Eloy Vargas. He's got 5. Now Aguiar loses the handle on the way into the lane, but he draws the foul. That is going to be on Francisco Garcia. That's his third. Osimani on the drive, up off the glass, no. Rebounded by Vargas. Here comes Sosa back the other way. Sosa on the left wing, on the attack on Calfani. Calfani, nice defense, cuts him off. Now Baez, 8 to shoot. Sosa lobs it inside to Baez. Now the bounce pass to Vargas. The right hand hook is up and in. Nice shot by Eloy Vargas.
Uruguay got caught in between. They didn't know if they trapped. They ended up switching and got caught with the mismatch down low.
51-28. Aguiar working on Vargas, gets his way into the lane, gets the shot off. Not good, but he draws the foul.
Little isolation, put his man to sleep with the hesitation. Went for the right hand take, kind of like a little baby hook, and drew the foul.
That's going to be 4 on Francisco Garcia, so he will have a seat. Edward Santana comes on.
And just before that possession, Coach Atkinson told Garcia, be smart, don't foul. However, Aguiar with the crafty move and drew Garcia's 4th foul.
I think the only significant injury we've seen so far is, I believe that was Juan Jose Garcia. You remember he went up the other day, dunked it, and came down and immediately held his hand. He's over there on the Dominican bench with his hand. I'm not sure if that's quite a cast, but it's certainly wrapped up with some pretty heavy padding at the very least.
Yeah, unfortunately, the young fella did come down on his hand. He's going to be out a while. He might need surgery. And that's a very tough break for because he was playing a great game yesterday.
He was.
And he got hurt on a beautiful dunk too.
Now Sosa for 3, no. And I'm trying to remember that play. He went up, he dunked it, and he was holding his hand on the way down. I don't know if he hit it on the rim awkwardly or but it looked like he was already holding it as he was coming down onto the air.
If I'm not mistaken, partner, as soon as he had the dunk, he kind of went off balance, and when he hit the floor, he tried to protect himself with his hands, and that's when he hurt his thumb.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate break. He had been playing very well to that point, made a beautiful play.
And going forward, the Dominican Republic are a little bit short-handed with the size and the height, so lose a big guy inside is a big blow.
Newsom outside to Vidal, gets it to Borsellino, back out to Fittipaldo. Vidal up top, 5 to shoot. Now Fittipaldo for 3. Finally, a 3-point basket made for Team Uruguay. They are now on fire from 3-point range, a streak of 1. They are 1 of 18 for 6%.
They had some wide open looks before, couldn't knock it down. That was a tough shot, but Mr. Fittipaldo.
That was probably the toughest look of the night from beyond the arc, and they hit it. Now Fittipaldo inside to Borsellino. Fittipaldo says, hey, let me try another one. Now he drives, puts up the teardrop floater, and he hits it with the right hand. And now Kenny Atkinson says, I want a timeout.
That's what the 3-point shooting do for you.
And now a technical foul called as the teams kind of were doing a little bit of talking there. And there's a look at that 3-pointer, which was the first one of the game for Team Uruguay after missing their first 17 attempts. Fittipaldo now with 8 points. Timeout on the floor. We'll get the technical sorted out in just a moment. This is the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament.
Sacás 2. Sale. Pelota, Nico. Esto. Pará. Q. 2. Cortina, leña. Igual a cabecita con Nico. ¡Vamos! ¡Vamos!
Welcome back to the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City, the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament. Craig Fada, Victor Manshur, glad you can be with us. Uruguay trailing. Let's see what can happen on the technical foul following the floater by Fittipaldo.
Yep. Sosa just down.
Yeah, and Borsellino.
A little bump.
Didn't look like anything, and then Sosa headed back, and then Ricky Newsom gets in there. I didn't really see anything that warranted a technical foul. There was no shot, so maybe it was just a warning. Vidal faked a three, kicks it out to Fittipaldo. That three-pointer rattles out. Rebound inside by Baez. And a foul called. I believe that's going to be on Borsellino, and he's upset. That's his third.
Sorry, partner, just to clean that up, there was a technical foul on Sosa. Fittipaldo missed the free throw on the technical foul, and then Uruguay had the possession right after. Because Sosa had, after he bumped up a little bit down low, he had a few words. Referee Michael was right beside him and caught that.
I did not see the free throw. Appreciate you clearing that up. So there was a technical foul.
And that was Sosa's first foul.
Now Santana scoring again. He's got 12.
And he could have easily got an and one on that play.
He's tied for game high honors with Baez. Borsellino. Tough move by Borsellino over Baez. Baez was not giving an inch. And so finally Borsellino had to put up the jumping hook shot. Beautifully done by Borsellino. 53-36 in favor of the Dominican Republic. 3:42 to play, third quarter. Now Baez up top. He can shoot that three, instead gives it up. Now gets it back along the baseline for Santana. He gets bumped out of bounds and draws the foul. That's going to be on Damian Alvarez, I believe.
And that would have counted if it went in. Santana drove baseline, got hit, threw the ball behind the backboard. It never touched anything.
That was Larry Bird-esque.
You can see right there just the contact. Threw it behind the backboard. It would have counted.
A little bit of a smile on his face as he turned toward the camera there. Santana's free throw is good.
I wonder if he got that in, he was come out with like a celebration or something.
Santana hits them both, and the lead back to 19. An offensive foul called now against Ricky Newsom. Biggest lead of the game has been 23.
Remember those watching at home, Newsom got caught with the offensive foul. That is a turnover.
Saw the replay there. I'm not sure there was very much, unless they're just going to say he leaned into the screen. Now Mendoza with a pretty right-hand finger roll. Lead back to 21. I guess he delivered the blow rather than absorbed it. Newsom, the offensive rebound following the missed three-pointer. Newsom goes up, and if I'm not mistaken, I thought that was his first bucket, but he's got four now. Now Feldin for three.
If you're Uruguay, even though you're playing the 2-3 zone, you cannot not allow players to be open. That way, just way too easy. Couple of seconds with the offense, Dominican Republic got a wide open three.
The lead is 22. Still plenty of basketball to play.
But we're yet to see that Uruguayan mentality, that defensive intensity that we saw the first game against Brazil.
Foul on Victor Liz, his second. Fittipaldo hits the first free throw as both teams are in the bonus. Fittipaldo now, as you see, with 9 points. Borsellino has 13 for Uruguay. Santana leading all scorers with 14 for the Dominican Republic. Baez with 12. Sosa with 10. Now Fittipaldo in double figures. Feldin gives it up to Liz. And now a foul on Borsellino, and that'll be his fourth.
Borsellino just plays with a lot of passion. If it's a rebound, a bucket, or a foul call, He's got all these reactions and emotions.
A little bit of an acting job there by Santana, but a bump nonetheless. So Borsellino sits down with his 4th foul and Waxman back on.
See if Mr. Washman can keep on with the offensive rebounds he did in the first half. As Uruguay, they got 12 offensive rebounds. That's what's kind of keeping them going. Even though they haven't got the three ball to go, their offensive rebound has been there.
Out rebounding the Dominican Republic offensively at any rate, 12-5. 61-40. Waxman now has 10 rebounds.
And if you're the coach, that's what you preach. If things are not going for you, let's make sure we keep fighting on the glass.
Waxman not expecting the pass. He was looking for it and then started to cut. Fittipaldo a little bit too late, and it's a turnover. 10th for Team Uruguay. Three-pointer for Feldine. That rattles out. That looked like it was going to go down.
Oh, if you're a shooter, you just hate that. It goes halfway in, and it comes back out.
Fittipaldo for 3. He hits. Uruguay now 2 for 21 from three-point range. Fittipaldo has 13. Now the kick out. Mendoza all the way to the rack, off the glass and in. What a shot by Rigoberto Mendoza, challenging the inside of the Uruguay defense. Lays it in, gives his team back a 20-point lead.
Beautiful kick out. Uruguay a little bit late in the rotation. Got beaten on the one-on-one play. And the finish all the way down the lane.
Timeout Uruguay. We're back in Mexico City.
Fucking middle, man. Escuchen esto. Escuchen esto. Sigo con lo mismo. Sigo con lo mismo. El tema de la defensa. No concentrarlo de una vez por todas y que no nos ropan y no hacer pules tontos y no depender de la ayuda que me corten y me ponen el gol. Vamos, muchachos, vamos, prestemos atención. Estamos entrenando a este equipo, falta una vida todavía. Una vida, falta. Hagamos un esfuerzo más. Lo mismo en el ataque, estamos trabados en el ataque. Participen todos, tengamos paciencia. Lo que decidamos jugar, jueguenlo y estén todos atentos. No que hay un pase para otro lado y nos sorprende el pase. Vamos, pará. Fíjate esta ofensiva. No, si no tenés nada, no por ser.
Back at the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City, the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament. Craig Fada, Victor Mansour. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from, around the Americas or around the world. You can follow us online all over the place. YouTube.com/FIBA. Americas2015.com, the official tournament website. FIBALivestats.com. On social media, on Instagram and Twitter at FIBA, and on Facebook as well. Aguiar to Waxman, over to Fittipaldo. Now Aguiar in close, working on Liz. Tried the underhand, one-hand pass to Waxman, gets deflected out of bounds. It will remain with Uruguay with 6 to shoot.
Coach Adrian, the last time out, really trying to get his team to pay attention on not getting beaten on the drives. They're getting late to their helps, so they got to pay attention to that. And in the offensive end, he wants more players involved.
Fittipaldo misses the 3. Here comes the Dominican Republic. Liz, Mendoza. Now Sosa getting it set up. 45 seconds to play in the quarter. Shot clock now down to 5. Here comes Sosa. Working on Aguiar. Goes into traffic. Newsom blocks the shot. And that's going to be a shot clock violation.
See if Uruguay go for the two for one here. But it looks like as they walk up the court that they won't.
Say, they don't appear to be in any hurry. Vidal, pass into the corner, jumper along the baseline, Fittipaldo hits. There's that mid-range jumper, step in, get inside that three-point arc, get a little bit better on your range and knock it down. You look at it, Uruguay shooting 53% from two-point range. That's pretty good. But then you go one more tick down on the stat sheet, and that 2 of 22 from three-point range, that's where you kind of wince a little bit. Fittipaldo now with 15 points, tied for game-high honors with Santana. However, look at the Dominican Republic shooting percentage from two-point range. 16 of 23 for 70%. That's ridiculous. They're 7 of 21 from three-point range, so they've cooled off there. Now let's see what they can come up with as the third quarter winds down. Liz loses the handle, goes out of bounds. It will remain with the Dominican Republic, 4.2 seconds to play. It'll be Mendoza to inbound, gets it to Sosa.
Got to attack here.
Now 2. The leaner won't go, but a foul called. And so Sosa will go to the free throw line. The foul called on Luciano Perotti. His first. Haven't seen a lot of Perotti in this game. Hasn't been heard a lot from. He had a pretty good game the other day. Now Sosa will shoot 2. They want the light around the backboard turned off so that he can shoot the free throws. First free throw good.
Those LED lights so helpful for the referees.
Yeah.
To know when the ball goes off, was it still in the player's hand? Did it get it off in time? As we spoke about the development of the game, that's been a major one.
Sosa hits them both. And that's how the third quarter is going to end, with the Dominican Republic up 20, 65-45. We're back in a moment from the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City.
Vamos, último esfuerzo, lo que sí, hey, sigamos jugando, no entremos en nada raro ni nada, sigamos jugando nosotros, pongámonos fuertes, pongámonos duros, pero sigamos jugando. Luciano, Bruno, Mauricio, Iril y Q, sacan eso nosotros. Ellos. Luciano. Va con Feldón. Arrancamos las primeras 4. Mauricio y Bruno. Iril y Q. Bernardo. Acá, ey. Chica, acá, cambio. Compriman esto. Traten que escuchen. Ey. Que no nos dividan, porque nos divide. Empiezan a tocar y están dulces con el tiro de recursos. Abajen el culo y que no nos diga. Después lo otro. De cabeza al rebote. De cabeza al rebote. No. Después de esta. Ahora, en el ataque podemos correr, corremos. Si no, fíjate que están los físicos.
Welcome back to Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from. Dominican Republic taking a 20-point lead into the fourth quarter.
If you're Uruguay partner, they out of that break, coach really wants to try to play off Bruno. He's starting to have the hot hand lately. They also saw him there. They dropped to the 3-2 zone, but he wants to make sure they close the middle, don't allow the drive and dish, and finish with that rebound. And that's exactly right there. So just that one dribble, way too easy. defense has got to stay between man and rim.
Touch pass out to Mendoza. The foul called on Parodi, his second. The Dominicans fumble it, and it'll be Uruguay ball.
They got a little break again because they got beaten off the dribble. That's not what coach just asked them to do.
That third quarter was the best offensive output by Uruguay. They scored 22 points.
Especially this man right here got going.
That's one fewer than they scored in the entire first half. Now Newsom in close.
And that's why you got to play this game well all the quarters. Let's see if they can pull it out here in the last 10. But they had a bad first half, and then they see themselves down 18.
Mendoza for three. Bang! Rigoberto Mendoza. He's got 6 now. (68-47). Aguiar. Shot won't go. Rebounded by Baez.
You saw the contest there. Sometimes you contest on the shot, but you also can put your hands almost like in the player's face without touching it to try to block his vision.
Now an unsportsmanlike called against Luciano Parodi. Parodi pleads his case. And that was a hard foul. I don't know that it was necessarily intentional, but it was certainly hard enough to warrant the unsportsmanlike call.
See, just going back to coach's point, he made sure we do not want to allow the drives. However, the Dominican Republic, the first possessions here, they have gotten to the heart of the Uruguayan defense. Uruguay has got to do a better job.
That's 3 fouls now on Luciano Parodi. And following the unsportsmanlike, the Dominican will get the ball back.
Players working hard in the court. We working hard here in the backstage, right, partner?
Little technical adjustment going on under the table here. Mendoza with another pretty right-hand drive, but this time he gets called for the offensive foul. That's about the 3rd or 4th offensive foul that Newsom has taken. Gets to the spot, sets his feet. Can't do it any better than that.
You read my mind. That was exactly what I was going to point out. That's a great defensive play, sacrificing your body and making sure your team gets the ball back.
Now Aguiar on the block left side, spin move, jump shot with the right hand. Aguiar hits, gets it to 49 for Uruguay. They trail by 21.
And we're finally seeing some flow for this Uruguayan team.
Now Liz fakes the three-pointer, then fakes the drive. Now drives on Aguiar, shot up, blocked by Newsom. Here comes Aguiar on the break. Will he take it all the way? Hops up into the lane, score the basket, and he'll go to the free throw line. That foul's going to be on Edgar Sosa. What a drive by Aguiar. Took it 1-on-2.
Protected with the left shoulder on the hop. Was able to go with the right hand, and if you're the Dominican Republic, you can't be giving up touch fouls. If you're going to foul a player, make sure that ball does not go up.
It's one of those moves to me that every time somebody makes it, the jump stop still looks like a travel to me. And he didn't come down with both feet at the same time that time, so that made it look even worse. He completes the three-point play. And Uruguay now back to within 18. 7:20 to play fourth quarter, still plenty of time. Baez out to Liz, three-pointer, bang!
Well, Uruguay is playing the zone. However, you need to have man-to-man principles. They're getting confused on who stops the ball, who gets to the first pass. And that's creating some mismatches that the Dominican just took advantage out of it.
Liz now with 7 points. Parodi, the tough fadeaway over Mendoza. Now Waxman and Vargas tangled up. Waxman wanted a foul called. Baez on the outside. Hands it to Mendoza. Osimani guarding him. Outside to Baez for 3. Short. Aguiar the rebound. Aguiar gonna take it all the way himself. Shot up off the glass, won't go the tip, but then a foul called. That's going to be on Eloy Vargas. And on Vargas, that'll be number 4.
Again,
and the big men doing battle, and I think you're going to see possibly an unsportsmanlike or a technical called here against one of the big men very, very soon, because those guys are really starting to bang.
As this game goes on, it's kind of like a boxing match, right? You go back and forth, back and forth. At one point, it can get the best out of you.
So Waxman to the free throw line. He's got 12 rebounds on the game. That's just his 2nd point.
But these guys, they're pros. They know how to play this game, and the battle down low is a clean battle and a much needed one, especially for the Uruguayan team. That's what's been keeping them kind of in this game, is the offensive rebounding.
Waxman hits both free throws. Gets Uruguay to within 17. 6:21 to play. Uruguay's going to have to come up with a couple of stops here.
They pick up full court. I like that. They should be scrambling and switching the defenses. See if they can get those stops.
Garcia on Aguiar, out to Liz. And foul called on Aguiar. That'll be his 4th.
Close one. There's the dribble handoff we spoke about. Nice crossover, but then Aguiar
just got tied up. That's unfortunate for Aguiar.
Growing up in South America, he's probably got that soccer instincts.
Now 3 from the corner is no good. Rebound Newsom. Osimani to Aguiar. Now to the left side. That's Parodi. Pull-up jumper won't go. Rebound. No, it does go. That looked like it was going to come off the left side. Somehow that found its way straight up and rolled in. Lead down to 15. Uruguay could use another stop here. Mendoza, they get the stop, force the turnover.
And the zone starting to work. The Dominican Republic had a lot of problems with that when Panama went to it in the last quarter. Kind of struggling here as they missed their last couple of buckets, the last five shots.
Sosa and Baez on now for the Dominican Republic. Liz and Mendoza sit down. So 2 starters come back as Uruguay starts to make a little bit of a run. Parodi inside to Waxman. A little too strong off the left hand on the pass, and that's a turnover. Feldine, the floater in the lane, that's good. Tough shot by James Feldine. Feldine now in double digits with 10. Parodi lost the dribble. Newsom picked it up. Now Aguiar. Boy, I thought he traveled in there. Newsom. Fadeaway jumper baseline. That sat up on the back iron. Looked like it was going to roll in, then came out, and then not sure if it got tipped off the back iron or just fell off, but.
As you shoot that ball, it rolls.
We'll get a good look at it here.
You almost have time to talk to it. You're like, come on, drop now.
That just rolled off cleanly, and a timeout on the floor.
And we kind of saw somebody touch the net there. If it was the defense who touched the net, that should have been a goaltend. If it was an offensive player, that would have been a violation and turnover.
75-58 in favor of the Dominican Republic. 4:37 to play, 4th quarter.
Q. Cortinalo, Martín. Fuerte. Cortinalo y pedila afuera. Afuera.
Señor Cortino, segundo.
Bruno. Buen pica, Q. Acá. Y Kirin. Grabalo. Si no, fíjense en las cortinas, jugamos carecita. Insisto en esto, muchachos. 4 minutos y medio. La vida, falta un montón todavía. Vamos a meter 2 goles. Vamos a defender. El balance es uno, Dale, vamos.
75-58 at the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City, the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship. 4:37 to play in the game.
As there you see Mr. Flor Melendez, coach from Puerto Rico, but very well known around the world. This is a very experienced coach, got a lot of respect. You can see many players go up to him, talk to him before the game. He's here as a FIBA invite.
Fittipaldo hits the three-pointer.
And Uruguay, that's exactly what Coach Adrian told me in the timeout. Let's keep on playing. A lot of time left, a lot of life in this game.
The lead down to 14. Sat in the cantina yesterday with Flor and his wife, enjoying the fine meal they provide here at the arena. And another three-pointer by the Dominican Republic. That one by James Feldin. He's got 13 now. And every time Uruguay seems to have an answer, the Dominican comes up with a three-point shot. Newsom falls over but has the presence of mind to get it out to Fittipaldo. Aguiar fakes the three, steps in, gets it to Newsom. He goes up off the glass and lays it in.
Presence of mind is the right word. He fell down, kicked it back out. Uruguay got the drive, got it back to him. Beautiful ball control, protected, and went off the glass.
The lead at 15. Uruguay had it down to 14 a moment ago. Garcia, another three for the Dominican Republic. My goodness.
Well, Garcia says, guys, don't you know me? I've been doing this all game.
They are starting to heat up again. 11 of 28 overall from the three-point arc is the Dominican Republic. Shot missed by Aguiar, rebounded by Garcia.
That's their style of play. They've taken more three-pointers than two-pointers in this game.
Feldin to his left. 8 to shoot. Waxman's guarding him. Feldin blows right by him and blocked by Newsom. Santana gets it back after the block, and then Newsom fouls him. But what a block by Ricky Newsom. We'll see it here. Feldin just blows by Waxman, goes up, and
Let's give me that. But then
on the outlet pass,
he also gave it away.
a little bit of an acting job there again by Santana, but Waxman, beg your pardon, that's 3 fouls on Newsom. Foul missed, or rather the foul shot missed by Santana.
So the Dominican getting themselves in the position for a very important win and the ability to keep on fighting in this tournament.
The lead back to 19. Uruguay had it as close as 14 a few moments ago.
And see Uruguay rolls the ball down the court, so the clock only starts as you touch it.
Nice drive by Aguiar, and one. And I think at this point, the Dominican will give them that shot. The foul was on Baez. Of course, they'll give them the shot and prefer they don't draw the foul. And on Baez, that's number 3.
Well, coaches always tell the players, keep on playing. Don't be arguing the call and forget to play the defense.
Aguiar can't complete the three-point play, and so the Dominican Republic will be in no hurry to get a shot off here. The lead is 17. Garcia to Baez. Now Baez attacks. Gives it up, now outside, back to Sosa. Now Garcia, shot clock at 7. Ball gets tipped out of bounds by Borsalino. It'll be Dominican ball with 4 seconds to shoot. Subrabil on now for Uruguay. Aguiar will sit down. Aguiar has played 28 minutes in this one. Now Baez pops from the free throw line and hits.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Baez got himself a couple of good moves, able to shoot from the outside. He pulled up for the two there. Explosive going to the rack sometimes. Nice young player.
Dominican leads by 19, 2:12 to play in the fourth quarter. Timeout Uruguay.
Demian, dale chance a Luis. Hey, escuchen esto. Santiago, Demian, Marcel, Nico y Q. Esta ofensiva, Santiago, 1. No marcamos nada. No salgamos ante las cortinas. Cortinas. No tenemos nada. Pelota Santiago. Rápido, Nico, Q, Carrol. Uno hace esto, caemos y el otro andamos por línea final. ¿Entendido? Escuchen esto. Hey, 2 minutos. Tenemos que seguir jugando. No hagamos boludeces ni nada. Sigamos jugando y defendiendo. ¿Estamos? Dale, vamos. Vamos. Vamos, dale.
84-65 as we return to the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City, the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship tournament. Looking more and more like the Dominican Republic is going to move to 2-2 and finish out group play with a pair of wins.
Well, just to emphasize Mr. Baez plays, he's got 14 points, but also 7 rebounds, 7 assists. If you're a young player out there, that's what you want to do. You don't want to be one-dimensional. As a matter of fact, you got to have the ability to do multiple things.
Another 3 missed by Uruguay. That was Demian Alvarez on the attempt.
And Coach Adrian told him on timeout, let's keep on playing, guys. Don't worry, there's 2 minutes to go, and we want to keep on going.
Another 3 on the way and straight through by Feldin. He's unconscious.
That's
Feldin now with 16 points.
Step back 3 is such a tough shot. You got to be able to get some room, but also have the strength in your legs to get that shot off.
Feldin 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, 6 of 9 overall. Now the feed inside to Alvarez. 1:07 to play. The lead is 20. Again, the Dominican Republic not in any hurry to get into their offense, and Alvarez called for a foul. I'd like to remind you that coming up at 2:30 local time, it's going to be Argentina and Cuba. Cuba facing some long odds in that one, but let's see if they can find some magic in Group B. Looking like Uruguay is going to fall in this one. They've got one more chance to come up with their second win in group play tomorrow against Mexico. That's going to be a tough task for them.
Remembering the home team always playing the last game. Full house, man, packed house. I think we had about 15,000 here yesterday, but it sounded like we had about 35,000.
Panama's got a tough road too when you're looking at that last spot in Group A. Panama's got to take on Mexico tonight at 8:30, and then on Friday, Panama facing Brazil, as Brazil will be fighting for its life. So if Uruguay can manage one more win, they'll still be in the mix. Now Vargas sits down with his 5th foul. 48.8 seconds left to play. Ricky Newsom to the free throw line. He's got 8 points on the night. First free throw rattles off.
So, my friend, if you go back today, if you're Uruguay, you go back and you got to address that you didn't have the defensive principles that you worked on what you had against Brazil. You got down early too much. You had a terrible three-point shooting night with the 3 for 25 and the 12%. But you still like the Uruguayan fight. They didn't give up. They tried a late run here, just wasn't enough. And if you're the Dominican Republic, you're still in this tournament. They played to their strengths, and they had no problems against the zone this time.
You hear the Dominican fans making some noise as Sosa attacks the basket. Foul was on Alvarez. Newsom blocked the shot, but Alvarez got called for the foul. And Uruguay really played a lot better in the second half. They played the Dominican just about even. However, that first half deficit they just could not make up. And the Dominican, they made 12 three-pointers, 18 two-pointers. They're 67% from two-point range, 41% from three-point range. When a team shoots like that, it's very difficult to beat them. When you throw in the fact that Uruguay, 3 of 25 from beyond the arc, that really sinks them. They were 24 of 43. They shot 56% from two-point range.
Yep. Well, and when you're making those three-pointers, in this case the Dominican Republic, it really makes the defense has to step up, allowing for some gaps and some spacing. So really tough when a team's making threes, because now you got to contest the three, but also not give them some space on the drive. And that's why the Dominican Republic, they took advantage of that and shot an outstanding 67% from two.
18 seconds to play, shot clock at 10, about 6 seconds difference. Another three by Santana. No, that was only a 2. That's why he missed it. It was only a 2. Newsom the rebound. Now foul called on Feldine with 6.1 seconds to play.
For the Dominican, I'm not quite sure about that foul, because remember, point differential, it could come down to, let's say both these teams qualify second round, and just giving up 2 easy points right here.
Free throw up and good by Vidal, his first point of the game.
Well, it didn't work for me this time, partner.
Vidal hits them both. Every player but Superbill and Caceres has scored for Uruguay. Well, that's how this one is going to end, 90-70 in favor of the Dominican Republic. The Dominican moves to 2-2. They finish group play with an even up record. Uruguay falls to 1-2. They've got one left, as we mentioned. Coming up tomorrow, they play the finale against Mexico. The final, 90-70 Dominican Republic. This is the 2015 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament from the Palacio de los Deportes in Mexico City. Let's take a look at some of the final stats on this one. Again, you see best offensive output by Uruguay in the fourth quarter, 25 points. They played the Dominican Republic to within 1 in the second half, but just too much of a deficit to make up in that first half. Uruguay shooting 56% from two-point range, 24 of 43, but 3 of 25 from beyond the arc for 12%. Not great from the free throw line either, 13 of 21 for 62%. Dominican Republic, meanwhile, a blistering 64% from two-point range, 18 of 28. They actually shot more three-pointers in the game than they did two-pointers, hit on 12 of them, 12 of 29 for 41%, 18 of 25 from the free throw line for 72%. The rebounding edge goes to Uruguay, 37-28. Uruguay with 16 offensive rebounds, just 5 for the Dominican Republic. Turnovers about even, 10 steals for the Dominican, only 2 for Uruguay. Points in the paint far out in favor of Uruguay, I should say, 42-28. Second chance points, how about this in favor of Uruguay? 13-0. The bench outscored 32-30 in favor of the Dominican Republic. So really, statistically, shooting percentage for the Dominican Republic is what won this game for them. 90-70, a 20-point difference. When you look at the three-pointers, that's a difference of 9 3-pointers in the game.
Well, it is a make and miss game, and the Dominican Republic played to their strength. They knew they're going to come out shooting. That's exactly what they did. They did not hesitate. You see right there, Sosa taking the outside jump. That's their style. They did that yesterday in this tournament. But Uruguay didn't close the gaps too much. They gave the Dominican Republic just too much room on the outside. They're way too open. And they're ready to shoot if they're contested. Imagine if they're open.
For the Dominican Republic, led by James Feldini with 17. Santana finished with 16. Edgar Sosa and 14. The Dominican Republic was Baez with 7. Baez also had 7 assists for Uruguay. Players led by Bruno Fittipaldo with 18. Aguiar had 15. Lino had 13. The rebounder was Kurt Boxman with 12. And 2 players with 3 assists. So once again, the final score from Mexico City. Dominican Republic play at 2-2. Uruguay, they move to 1-2 with 1 game left tomorrow night in the finale against Mexico. My partner Victor Mansur, I'm Craig Feta saying so long for now. We will be back in approximately 40 minutes for the tip-off between Argentina and Cuba. Want to stick around for that one? No doubt we're going to see a lot of firepower from Team Argentina. Luis Scola, can't wait to see what he's going to do against. Once again, the final, 90-70. So long for now from Mexico City.